Hello friends, today in this video we will see class 7 subject of science chapter 1, that is nutrition in plants, and in this today we will specially see the autotrophic nutrition. First we will see what is nutrition. See, we know that all the organisms like human beings or any other organisms, they need food for their health and growth. So the process which they use for obtaining the food, that process is called nutrition. And there are also two modes of nutrition. Those are autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Now you will see here first heterotrophic nutrition. The word heteros means others and trophos means nutrition. This means the organisms which follow heterotrophic mode of nutrition, those organisms are called heterotrophs. And you know what how this is done? Like whichever organisms depend on others for food, like human beings, they depend on plant source or animal source for food, so human beings are called as heterotrophic nutrition. Now we will see autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition will be this. See, the word auto means self and trophos means nutrition. That and the organisms which follow it, they are called autotrophs. Okay. Now, all green plants and some bacteria, they follow the autotrophic mode of nutrition. They are able to prepare their own food. Okay friends, and except green plants and some bacteria, all other organisms come in the category of heterotrophic nutrition. Now we'll see autotrophic mode of nutrition. See, green plants are self-dependent and then they can make their own food also. Means the green plants, they did not depend like humans on others. They make their own food by a process which is called photosynthesis. Here photo means light and synthesis means to make. Means they use light for making their own food. This process can be summarized as, see, carbon dioxide plus water which reacts with chlorophyll and sunlight to form glucose and oxygen. If we will see it in a form of formula, so see, carbon dioxide, water reacts with chlorophyll and sunlight to form this glucose and oxygen. Now you will be seeing that here 6 is coming. So I am telling you that their formula is not 6C2O or 6H2O. Here 6 means 6 molecules, means 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water react with they both to form 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Now we will see materials required for photosynthesis. First is water and minerals. We know that first main thing is that this water and minerals are obtained by the roots of the plant. We know that the roots have root hairs, the small tiny hairs. So those root hairs help the plant to absorb water and minerals. These root hairs also have some tubes, small tubes in them, which are called xylem. We can say them tubes or tissues which absorbs minerals in water, and transports to the leaf. Here one more tube is present which is called phloem, and that transports food to other plant parts. Sorry. Now we will see chlorophyll. See, chlorophyll is what? First we will see where it is present. It is not present openly. It is present in some special cells present in the leaf called chloroplasts. Chlorophyll is what? It is a green pigment in plants that captures what? Light energy from the sun. Without chlorophyll, plants cannot use the energy of sunlight to make their food. Means chlorophyll is also very important for the photosynthesis. Now we will see another one, that is carbon dioxide. See, carbon dioxide from the air is taken in through tiny pores present on the leaves called stomata. Now the leaves, first this is the upper portion and this is the lower portion. So on the upper portion there is no stomata present, but on the underside or the lower portion of the leaf there are most stomatas present. And you know friends, what is the reason for it? That stomata, these are cells which helps for the gaseous exchange between the plant and the atmosphere. Like the plant takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. This is the gaseous exchange, and this is the gaseous exchange we know. And plants also release water in the form of vapor outside. This is also done by these stomatas only. So they are present underside, because if they will be present over here, so there will be more sunlight, so it will absorb more water, which can cause loss of water in the plants. That's why they are present in the underside. Now we will see how is their structure. They have two cells like the kidney beans. These two cells are called the guard cells. These guard cells open and close, and they control the movement of stomata. Now we'll see sunlight. Sunlight or the solar energy, what it does, it splits carbon dioxide and water into its constituents to form starch. Now we was listening that it forms glucose, but here the term starch is coming. It is because we know that there are two types of carbohydrates. One is the sugar and another is the starch. So glucose comes in the form of sugar, and this one is the starch. So friends, this is also important information, that plants prepare food in the form of glucose and they store the food in the form of starch. Now we'll see importance of photosynthesis. It is the most important biological process on which many organisms depend directly or indirectly for food. Another one is this process maintains the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the environment. And the last is it provides oxygen for breathing. Now see in this how it is. Like there is a plant, an animal herbivore and an animal carnivore. So the herbivore will eat the plant and the carnivore will eat the herbivore. So it is so depending directly on plant. But think, if there will be no plant, so there will be a decrease in the population of herbivore, and because of the carnivore is depending on it, there will be also a decrease in its population. So that's why carnivores are also indirectly dependent on plants for food. Now this process maintains the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Like we know that humans, what they do, they give out carbon dioxide and they take in oxygen. So if the plants will not make oxygen, so what the humans will do, there will be no oxygen, so there it will cause various epidemics on the earth like global warming, desertification, and there will be no life on earth without plants. Thank you friends, this was in our today's video. Hope you like it. Please subscribe my channel for latest updates. Thank you to watch my video.